Apple TV Plus set to premiere the new series Wanted, the escape of Carlos Ghosn, showcasing the CEO turned fugitive's professional journey, shocking arrest, and daring escape from Japan. Mike Taylor, the architect of Ghosn's getaway in an instrument case, and Ghosn himself are featured in the film. Joining us right now is James Jones, director of the series. Michael Taylor is with us as well, former Green Beret. Good morning to both of you. I have to admit, I got a copy of the screener thinking I would watch it over, I don't know, a week or two or something like that. And James, I literally binged the whole. I couldn't stop watching, and I couldn't stop watching Mike, who is such an instrumental part, obviously, of this remarkable series. Let's just go back in time for a moment, James. Just help set the table for those who may not know the Carlos Ghosn story. What interested you in this from the get-go?
I mean, I think the moment I became really aware in depth of the Carlos Ghosn story was when he escaped in a box. You know, his headlines all over the world. One of the world's most successful business executives smuggled out of Japan in a music box. And, you know, that has Hollywood movie written all over it. But what was enticing to me as a kind of journalistic filmmaker was that the more you scratch away at this story, the kind of darker and more twisted it becomes. And so it felt like the kind of story that spending like a couple of years of our lives digging into it would, you know, pay off rewards and end up with a good, you know, a great series.
Before I get to Mike, I have one big question for you, James. And I think you're trying to leave it to the viewer to decide. But at the very top of the segment, we showed a clip where Carlos Ghosn himself talked about himself as a victim. And I'm so curious what you actually think yourself. Was he a victim? There's points in this where you clearly paint him as potentially such, but there's other points at which he may not be a victim at all.
Yeah, I mean, we posed the question, victim or villain, in the final episode. And I would urge the viewer to watch and make up their mind. But, you know, ultimately, maybe it's not either or. And there's certainly points in the series when you see what he went through in Japan, there's no doubt there was a conspiracy to take Carlos Ghosn down. And for that period when he was in prison, treated horrifically, he was a victim. What's more complicated is that during that investigation, they had then stumbled across much, much more serious allegations against Carlos Ghosn of proper corruption. And I think until he goes and faces trial in France or Japan, he can't really dismiss that label of villain.
Mike, let's talk about your own journey, because it was a wild one, both in terms of helping Carlos Ghosn, planning his extraction, getting him out, and then yourself going to prison with your son for doing so in the most horrific circumstances. But take us back to the beginning of that, which is, how did this happen for you? How did you decide to do this, and what did you think was at risk when you did?
Well, I originally got a telephone call from a mutual contact of Carlos and I and his wife, Carol, and asked me to help out, because I've done this before for many people. People who are abducted, taken overseas, that we've had warrants for and custody issues. So this, in effect, wasn't anything new. The planning of it and the operation was very smooth. It didn't take that long, about 6 months. The operation just went off, you know, perfect. And during that planning of it, we researched if there was a violation of law, and all the legal counsels that we've spoken to and did the research and whatnot all said it was not a violation of law, because bail jumping in Japan is not a violation. There's no violation of law if you bail jump in Japan. So aiding and abetting, if you will, somebody's jumping bail is not a crime. The fact of the matter is, it's only a crime if you break somebody out of an actual custody situation, like a jail or a prison cell or the back of a police car. Then it's a violation of law. But Carlos was out on bail, so it was no violation of law. And then it turned into the issue of, you know, Japan requesting extradition. And it was Trump and Pompeo that sold us out and extradited us. And it wasn't for the interest of international justice. It was clearly political. And, you know, they knew very well we would be tortured. We were there. And in fact, we were tortured.
Before we get to that, because that unto itself in the series is a remarkable story, just take us back to being in the airport as you are literally pushing him, Carlos Ghosn, in a music box past the security guards. And you describe it in the series, and they show it because you have footage of it actually as it's happening, and you have Carlos Ghosn also narrating that part of it. But as that is happening, what did you think could happen if you were caught in that moment?
Well, I had done the vulnerability assessment of it, and I was very confident, 100% confident, actually, that we would not be exposed, and it wouldn't be. There was no locks. Locks generally make people look like, oh, there must be something important in there or whatnot, so let's open it up. I didn't lock the box. All they had to do is flip a switch and open the lid, but they didn't do that. And their standard operation policies are so rigid that they don't deviate whatsoever. They're very robotic in that sense. So it was really a no-brainer in going out that way.